In 2021, a jury in South Carolina found disgraced former attorney Alex Murdaugh guilty of murdering his wife and son at their rural residence. On Thursday, the jury deliberated for less than 3 hours before reaching 4 guilty verdicts for the murders of Maggie Murdaugh and Paul Murdaugh. Also, Alex Murdaugh was found guilty on 2 counts of weapon possession during a crime. He was sentenced to life in prison on Friday. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at teenager killed her own family, reacting to life sentence. Yeah, you heard it right. Alex Murdaugh was a former partner in the law company PMPED, where the M stood for Murdaugh. The firm has since been renamed, as his great-grandfather was the firm's founder. The 64-year-old law school graduate from the University of South Carolina was a member of his family's legal dynasty in the Low Country region of South Carolina. Murdaugh's grandfather's portrait had hung in the courtroom where Murdaugh's trial is taking place, but it was removed by the judge for this trial. When he was driven out of the company and disbarred in July of last year, he mostly practiced as a personal injury attorney. Since October 2021, Murdaugh has been incarcerated at the Richland County Correctional Center for failing to post his multi-million-dollar bond. Throughout the trial, he was allowed to see his 26-year-old surviving son, Buster, as well as Murdaugh's siblings on most days. Murdaugh is accused of planning his own death for an insurance payout, as well as a number of additional charges that are not included in his murder trial. About 100 financial offenses, including fraud, money laundering, tax evasion, and forgeries, are being brought against him. On the stand, he admitted to committing a number of these offenses, but legal proceedings on the remaining charges will not continue until the murder trial is concluded. On June 7, 2021, around 10 p.m., Alex Murdaugh contacted 911 from his Islandton, South Carolina home to report that he had discovered the bodies of his 22-year-old son Paul and his 52-year-old wife Maggie. "I urgently need the police and an ambulance. My wife and son had just been shot severely," Murdaugh informed emergency dispatch while driving. He stated that he discovered the couple near kennels on the more than 1,700-acre property and checked to see if they were still alive. When authorities arrived, they reported discovering both Paul and Maggie dead in pools of their own blood. Sergeant Daniel Green, the first responding officer, said that any reasonable person would have assumed that they were dead. Green's body camera footage from that night reveals that Murdaugh was ready to provide an explanation as to why this may have occurred. Murdaugh adds on the video, "This is a long tale, but he was involved in a boat accident a few months ago. Since then, my son has been receiving threats, mostly basic stuff, but he's also been getting punched." This is a reference to the 2019 boating accident that killed Mallory Beach, a teenager from South Carolina. Paul Murdaugh was supposedly the boat's driver the night of the fatal collision, and the Murdaugh family was being sued by a number of the boat's other passengers. The team of state prosecutors led by Creighton Waters portrayed Alex Murdaugh as desperate. They say that Murdaugh's decades of alleged financial crimes resulted in a perfect storm that drove him to murder Paul and Maggie in order to gain sympathy and halt investigations into the money that he suspected of stealing. "We were unable to present any witnesses because they were slain," Waters stated in his concluding remarks. Yet, common reason and human nature can speak on Maggie and Paul's side. Consider this in its entirety. Many witnesses testified that they heard Alex Murdaugh's voice on a video shot by Paul minutes before he died, contradicting Murdaugh's claim that he was not at the kennels that night. Paul and Maggie had no defense wounds despite being shot at a close range. Paul also captured a Snapchat video showing Alex Murdaugh wearing a different outfit than the one he was wearing when police discovered him the night of the murders. The earlier pair of clothing has never been located, and the subsequent set was freshly laundered and blood-free, according to a witness's testimony. Despite Murdaugh's allegation that he checked both Paul and Maggie's bodies for signs of life, the prosecution's case also depended on convicting the jury that Murdaugh was desperate and a liar who had lied to cover his murderous tracks. People lie because they knew they did something wrong, and just like always, when confronted with evidence that he can't deny, he backtracks and pivots and tells another new lie. The one thing you know is a constant is he is lying to them, Waters said in his closing. The prosecution is not seeking the death penalty, but instead asking for life in prison without parole if convicted. On behalf of the state of South Carolina, I ask you to return a guilty verdict against Alex Murdaugh for the murder of his son Paul and his wife Maggie and his possession of firearms during this malicious crime, Waters asked the jury. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.